You open your phone, scroll for a few minutes, and suddenly your life feels smaller. Someone is driving a new car, someone else is vacationing in a luxury resort, another person just moved into a beautiful apartment. Nothing about your life changed, but somehow it feels like you're falling behind. That feeling has a name: the comparison trap. And in the age of social media, it might be quietly influencing how millions of people spend money. Stay with me, because once you understand the psychology behind social comparison, you'll start seeing social media very differently. Comparison changes perception. Imagine it's late evening. You're relaxing after a long day. You open Instagram or TikTok. Within minutes, your feed shows a pattern: a friend celebrating a promotion, a colleague posing next to a new car, someone you follow enjoying a luxury vacation, another influencer sharing a day in the life inside a beautiful home. Each post shows a small moment of success, and one post alone may not affect you much, but after seeing dozens of them, something begins to shift inside your mind. Your apartment suddenly feels less impressive, your car feels older, your wardrobe feels outdated, even your daily routines begin to feel ordinary. Nothing about your life changed, but your perception did. And that shift in perception can quietly influence financial decisions. Perception shapes spending. To understand why social media affects spending, we need to understand how the brain evaluates status. Humans evolved as social animals. For thousands of years, survival depended on our position within a group. Higher status often meant better access to food, protection, and opportunities. Because of this, the brain developed systems that constantly monitor social ranking. Psychologists call this process social comparison. Your brain automatically evaluates how you measure up against others. Am I ahead? Am I behind? Am I equal? These comparisons happen subconsciously, and they influence emotions more than most people realize. Your brain constantly tracks status. In small communities, comparisons were limited. You compared yourself with neighbors or coworkers, but social media changed the scale of comparison dramatically. Today, you're not comparing yourself with 10 people, you're comparing yourself with millions. And most of what you see online isn't reality. It's curated highlights, moments carefully selected to display success, beauty, or achievement. Your brain, however, doesn't always distinguish between curated moments and everyday reality. It processes them as signals of how others are doing, which means your brain begins adjusting your expectations of normal life. The brain interprets highlights as reality. Let's explore how this process influences spending behavior. Stage 1. Exposure. You see images of expensive lifestyles, luxury homes, designer clothes, exotic vacations. These visuals create a mental picture of success. Even if you know intellectually that these images represent only a small part of reality, your brain still processes them emotionally. Exposure shapes expectations. Stage 2. Comparison. Your brain begins comparing your life with what you see: your car versus their car, your home versus their home, your lifestyle versus their lifestyle. This comparison often triggers a subtle emotional response, a sense that you're slightly behind. Comparison creates pressure. Stage 3. Desire. Once the brain perceives a status gap, it begins searching for ways to close it. This doesn't happen consciously, but the brain begins associating certain purchases with social improvement: a better car, more stylish clothes, nicer experiences. These items become symbols of progress. Status symbols attract attention. Stage 4. Spending. Eventually, many people make purchases that signal success, not necessarily because they need them, but because they want to feel aligned with the lifestyle they see around them. The purchase provides a temporary boost in confidence, a momentary feeling of catching up, but that feeling rarely lasts. Temporary satisfaction, long-term cost. Another powerful factor is dopamine. Social media platforms are designed to trigger dopamine. Likes, comments, notifications. These signals activate the brain's reward system. When people post photos of purchases or experiences and receive social approval, the brain reinforces the behavior. This creates a loop. Spend, post, receive validation, repeat. Validation reinforces spending. The more validation people receive, the more their brain associates spending with social approval. Over time, consumption becomes connected with identity. People don't just buy products, they buy signals of belonging, signals that communicate success, taste, or status. Consumption becomes communication. But here's the hidden danger. The people you're comparing yourself with may also be participating in the same cycle. They may also be financing their lifestyle with debt or stretching their finances to maintain appearances, which means everyone can appear successful, while many are financially fragile. Appearance doesn't equal wealth. Here's the shift that changes everything. Social media doesn't just show reality, it magnifies visible success and hides invisible wealth. Luxury purchases are easy to display. Savings accounts are not. Investment portfolios are rarely posted online, which means the behaviors that actually build wealth are largely invisible. Saving, investing, delaying gratification, living below your means. These habits don't create dramatic social media moments, but they quietly build financial freedom. Real wealth is often invisible. When people understand this, something powerful happens. They stop using social media as a benchmark for financial success. Instead of asking, "Do I look successful?" they begin asking, "Am I financially secure?" This shift changes spending behavior dramatically. Security beats appearance. Escaping the comparison trap requires intentional awareness. Here are 5 strategies that help. 1. Curate your environment. Limit exposure to accounts that trigger unhealthy comparison. Follow people who inspire growth, not consumption. Your environment shapes your mindset. Control your inputs. 2. Delay status purchases. If a purchase is motivated by comparison, delay it. Give your brain time to evaluate whether it truly improves your life. Most status-driven impulses fade with time. 3. Focus on net worth. Visible lifestyle often hides financial instability. Net worth reflects real progress. Tracking it shifts attention from appearance to financial strength. Net worth tells the real story. 4. Redefine success. Success isn't defined by what others see. It's defined by freedom. Freedom from debt, freedom from financial stress, freedom to make choices without pressure. 5. Practice gratitude. Gratitude counters comparison. When you focus on what you already have, the pressure to constantly upgrade begins to fade. The comparison trap is powerful because it operates quietly. You may not even realize it's influencing your decisions, but each time you scroll, your brain processes signals about success, status, and belonging. Understanding this doesn't mean abandoning social media. It means recognizing that what you see online is rarely the full story, because real financial strength often develops in silence, through consistent habits repeated over years. Saving, investing, building stability. While others focus on appearances, those habits quietly build freedom. Comparison drains wealth, discipline builds it. But comparison isn't the only psychological force influencing how people spend money. Another powerful factor shapes spending habits every day: convenience. Because when technology removes effort from purchasing, spending becomes faster, easier, and more frequent. In the next video, we'll explore why convenience might be quietly destroying your wealth and how modern systems are designed to make spending effortless. PrimeClear Hub, Wealth and Wisdom Simplified. Control your brain, control your money.